it's just the way it is. Just watch yourself, watch each other when we start trying this. Tonight I wanted to share something because I went on a cinema sister date tonight. I'm still in the UK spending time with my sister, and we went to the cinema and we watched a Quiet Place on something. I think it's The Quiet Place, and it's basically an apocalyptic film where aliens come over and they eat humans, and the only way that they find the humans is by sound. And so I'm not going to share any more, just in case you want to watch that film. I don't want to share like the, I don't want to be the spoiler, but in the film I want to share with you, because there is this girl. She is in a hospice. Obviously anyone in a hospice is ready to die, and she was in this kind of like this circle where you have to share, your feelings, like you do in AA, that kind of thing. So she had to share her feelings, and she was obviously really miserable. She hated her life. She hated being in the hospice. And so in the bit that she shared, she was just saying everything was shit. She was like, I woke up and it was shit, my drink was shit, my mates was shit, this place is shit. And the title of the thing that she was sharing, the poem, was called This Place is Shit. And the funny thing is that, and it's not a funny thing, it's kind of like the funny not funny, what happened straight after, or almost immediately after she shared that bit, the whole world got attacked by these aliens, and suddenly she was not worried about her life. She wasn't concerned about herself and how shit everything was, because suddenly the whole world was getting destroyed. She was seeing people murdered left, right and center by these aliens. The whole of the city was crumbling down in front of her, and the only thing she was worried about in that moment was to keep alive. In fact, she was terrified of being eaten by these aliens. Why am I sharing this? The reason why I'm sharing this is because I think we often forget how good things are in our lives. We often forget how lucky we are and how privileged we are, especially when we live in some parts of this world where I can sit here with my back door open and I'm not worried someone's gonna like kick the door down and attack me. I don't walk down the street and there's gunshots being shot at every 2 seconds. There's not bombs going on outside. I have electricity. I eat plenty of food. I have a phone to share with you the things that I've learned. This part of the movie reminded me of how often that we think our life is so bad. This woman, she really hated her life. She was not only dying, she was in a hospice, and she wrote a poem about how shit her world was, until something else was even worse. And then the twist of the story was, not giving away what the film was about, because it's the typical hero's journey. This is the typical story of success, is that in the end she realized how lucky she was to be alive, how lucky she was to have experienced the things that she experienced, how lucky she was to have connection in her life, even though it was in silence. And it was in that moment where it's a reminder about perspective in our lives. And there was another situation as well that reminded me of that. An incident with my husband a few weeks ago where we were supposed to do like an event. It was a weekend festival, and he was saying, oh, it's going to be so horrible if it started raining, and started going, oh, I hate the rain, and started going on about the rain. And that's quite normal, actually. Normal only means that collectively we decided that it's normal to complain about the weather. And I remember complaining about the weather all the time. If it's not about it raining too much, it's about how hot it is, or how humid it is, or it hasn't rained for ages. The weather is a typical example of the things that we complain about a lot. And I said to my husband, I said, well, joking around, I'm like, well, at least we're not made of sugar. and I said, what do you think people in some countries that always have rain, they have rain 10 months of the year, do you think they live a really miserable life? Do you think they just stay in all the time because it's raining all the time? Do you think they cancel every single event because it's raining? They would really have to have a really shitty life, and yet they choose to stay in a country where it rains 10 months of the year. Or do you think they still find a way to enjoy life? Because I think even if it's raining or not, we could find a way to focus on the good things. When we start to focus on everything that is going wrong in our lives, it then impacts everything else, because it starts with an innocent, I hope it doesn't rain. Because just that essence of saying, I hope it doesn't rain, gives the mind thinking, well, if it does rain, it's going to be a shit day. And if your mind already thinks it's going to be a shit day, because of how our eyes and our minds are programmed, it's going to look for things to make it shit. It's going to look for problems. Now, this is just an example that has happened to us before. It's like most of the time I remember to bring the laundry in, but because I've sent that in my mind, it's going to rain, it's going to be a shit day, my mind says, okay, Mel really wants to have a shit day. This is the program. Remember yesterday, I think the day before, I was like saying about our minds are listening on alert all the time. So it's like, Mel wants a shit day. Forget to bring the laundry in. So the rain starts coming down, and guess what? My mind completely blanks about the laundry. It's like, no, I'm not going to remind Mel the laundry's out there. And then like whoever's in the house, because we all want the same thing, and the more of us are creating this negative vibe of it's going to be a shit day, all our minds are like helping each other out. So it's not going to remind Nick, it's not going to remind anyone, so the laundry doesn't get pulled in. Guess what? That's another problem. I realize the laundry is out, it's all soaking wet, I'm in a bad mood, oh my god, I can't believe it started raining, I knew it. Then I say things, I knew it wasn't gonna be dry, so it's all soaking wet, I'm all in a bad mood. I go out there in a panic, I bring the laundry in, my husband's really grumpy because I'm grumpy, because we all tend to not be, oh, you're such a cute Mel, you're so cute when you're grumpy. No, usually it's like, oh, for God's sake, what have I done? It's usually when someone's grumpy, somebody else grumpy, it's just the way it is. Just watch yourself, watch each other, Watch each other when we start trying this, and then one thing led to another. You know it. Remember back on your bad days, it's usually like has a knock-on effect because of the way our minds are focusing. It creates the problems because we want them, and it all starts with an innocent, I hope the weather will be nice, and then it has a cascading. That's just one example of how we do this. And the reason why it's all based in science is because our minds are only programmed to seek safety. And when we start saying these things that seem like we don't want them, it's already fearing it. It's already trying to protect yourself. So when that happens, our minds stop looking for things to help us. It stops looking and it starts putting all the energy into our legs and into our body. Hence why often when we start having those bad days and things starts happening, we start getting grumpy, we start getting angry, because these are the energy in our bodies ready for us to fight an imminent threat. Back in the day when our problems were actually real, that we had to run away from predators that were trying to kill us, or tribes that were trying to kill us, and we had to literally protect our families in the out open air, and we didn't have houses to protect us, it was a valid thing. Our minds haven't developed from there. So that's where the manifestation comes from. How are we supposed to see opportunities through the rain, through the weather, through the fun? How come some families have the best time in the rain, and then some families just don't even bother going out? Like, because some people have naturally found a way to see the positiveness through every single negative experience. They've managed to still find some gold in there, because that's how our minds work, because it starts looking for answers instead of like the mind shutting down, looking for crap things to happen. On the contrast, when it's raining, it's like, at least the grass will get watered. The mind is incredible. It start thinking of things that will make the day great, and it then manifests into other things. This is where the lucky girl syndrome comes from, because when you believe that you are going to be lucky, you believe that things are going to happen, it's not magic. It's because the mind is observing the world all the time. It runs so fast that we can't consciously keep up, and that's when the ideas come in, the things that comes into your mind that will help you get onto the path where you really want to go. And this is where the opportunities come, because this is why we get stuck, is because we've already given up, because of the fact that we've already decided, I'm going to have a bad day, the rain is going to ruin everything. Why should the mind think of anything else to do if we've already decided that is our fate?